Hey everybody, welcome back. Stone Broke Adventure. We got ourselves nice and deep into a project. We're going to be replacing these lead acid batteries in this old Yamaha golf cart and replacing it with the DC House lithium iron phosphate golf cart battery. They sent us this battery to do this conversion, show you how it's done. We're going to run through a lot of the specs on this battery. We're going to show you how we're going to kind of modify a little bit to get it to fit in this old golf cart. It will fit in the golf cart. It is a 48 volt battery, 48 volt golf cart. First thing we need to do is we need to hook this thing up, get this thing fully charged. When they ship these things, they're gonna come about 50% charged, so you're gonna wanna charge these up fully. This kit, links down below for this kit. It's gonna come with the battery charger. Has a really nice detailed display, actually displays every single cell. It's a 16 cell battery, and you can go into this display and check out every cell and see if they're balanced right through this little monitor. Also, it is Bluetooth capable. We have a QR code here. You can scan that QR code, and super easy to download the Bluetooth app. You can monitor all the functions of this battery. It comes with a little mounting bracket, of course, your cable for the monitor. It's going to plug right in on this side. Another feature on this thing, when we hook up the charger, right, you can permanently mount this charger inside the compartment on the battery, or you can disconnect it with this little disconnect here, right? So if you want to just use this mobily and then come back, reconnect it, has a nice little waterproof fitting. We are going to run a full capacity test on this battery just to prove to you that it is a 100 amp hour battery, right, at that 48, 50 volts. Let's go ahead, pull some detailed specs. We're gonna put that on the screen for you to show some of the specs that I really like to look at on a battery. These are directly from DC House on their website. 5,120 watt hours, convert that to the 51.2 volts. That's a 100 amp hour battery. So let's look at the maximum continuous charge discharge on this battery, 200 amps. So that means you can push in 200 amps charge on that. That is the maximum that you want to charge this at. So if you really want to fast charge this, 200 amps is the max. Your maximum continuous discharge on this is a 200 amp too. So if you're running this thing, it'll be running maximum continuous all the time. This BMS can handle 200 amps a draw on it. It does have a peak current of 400 amps for 30 seconds. So in a golf cart, if we're running on a course, got a lot of slopes, a lot of hills, got some big guys on the golf cart, this thing might have to push out a little bit more power to get you up the hills. This thing can handle that at 400 amp capacity for 30 seconds. And then if you really need to punch this thing and go with a heavy load on it, you got 1,000 amps at 1 second. This battery, you can run 4 in parallel. You do not connect these in series at all. 4 of these in parallel. That way you maintain the voltage, but you're going to increase your amp hours on that when you run these. So if you run these 4 in parallel, you're going to have 4 times the capacity, up to 400 amp hours. We have M8 lugs on it on this side over here. Right, if we take a look, have these protective covers, right, to protect those M8 lugs once you get everything wired in. There's plenty of room to attach your cables, right? And they're flexible, you can move them around. We have a vent for the metal case, right? Metal case on this thing, super sturdy. We have a on-off switch. If this battery is gonna be setting for more than a couple days, you definitely wanna turn that off. That way there's no load drain on this. You don't want this thing to run completely dead. Just shut it off, right? And then we have our communication port for our monitor here. This battery weighs 108 pounds, right? What we're replacing here, if we look inside this, we have 4 batteries at 85 pounds apiece. These are 150 amp hour batteries, but they're lead acid. So the maximum discharge on a lead acid battery should only be 50%. So they're calling them 150 amp hour batteries, but they're actually only 75 amp hours combined, right? So we have 75 amp hours. We're replacing it with 100 amp hours. These 4 batteries combined 340 pounds compared to 108 pounds. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing hooked up on the charger, charge it fully. We're gonna do a discharge test on it. We'll show you how we set that up. While we're doing all that, we're gonna pull these batteries out of this compartment. All right, we're set up right now, we're charging, right? We got the charger plugged in. Let's take a look at the app real quick. Real simple, easy to understand, right? We're charging right now at 16.45 amps, right? That's our charging voltage. There's our temperature in Celsius, right? Time to full, we got 3 hours and 8 minutes until we charge this thing completely full. We're at 49%, so if this thing was completely dead, it'd take you 6 hours to charge fully. It's only gonna take us 3 hours, right? Let's go to page 2. You can see the different information. Nice touch screen on that. Right, and then what I like this screen here, this screen 3. That's every cell, all 16 cells you can monitor. And as this battery starts to charge fully, when it goes to 100%, these cells should really start balancing out. Enough talking, let's get into this, right? We're just gonna pull the seat off, right? We're gonna set this out of the way and we're gonna start removing these batteries. We do not wanna short these connections out, right? We're gonna be using a wrench. We do not wanna short these out. We're gonna start by removing our positive lead on this. Once all the cables are disconnected, we're gonna remove our hold down clamps and start pulling these batteries out. You may need some help to get these batteries out. They say they are 85 pounds a piece, this model. Here we're just using a drill with a socket on it to make quick work of it to remove those. All right, we got all the bolts disconnected. We have the hold downs disconnected and removed. Now we gotta lift these things out, 85 pounds a piece. We've got some straps on it. They do sell battery lifting tools for this, but we're just gonna go ahead and lift it out. We're gonna muscle this out. 2 people would be a lot easier. All right, we got it done. Pretty tough. 2 people, better idea. Let's go ahead. We're gonna move this little converter here, get that out of the way. We may have to fill in these little gaps with some filler pieces, these little recesses. We'll have that battery sit right on top. We're gonna do some measurements and see if this new battery fits right in one of these holes or if we have to do a little modification. All right, we have this thing fully charged. The battery charger works fully automatic. It slows down at that last little bit as the voltage rises up to push that last little bit of charge into the batteries. It is a large battery, so it does take some time on that last little bit. Now we're gonna drain this thing down and make sure that it has 100 amp hours of capacity in this thing. We're using the East Tester ET5410A+ tester here. We're running a battery load test on it. We're gonna run this test at 7 amps. We have it set to a shutoff voltage of 42 volts. So this battery in the specs, the low voltage cutoff point is 40 volts. We're gonna run this at 42 just to make sure we don't get down to that BMS shutoff point. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing started. It's gonna take a while to do this. Probably 15, 16 hours to do it. We're gonna run this overnight. We'll come back, see how many amp hours we have at that 42 volts. All right, you can see here, we're ticking away. We'll be back in a little bit. So while we're running these tests, we're gonna start modifying the inside of this box. Super simple, it's a lot easier than I thought it would. If we take a look here, right, we've just got a couple of 2x4s. I'm using some pressure treated to see we don't have any water problems, but we're just setting these inside the recessed area. Once we lift that battery, the tests are done, we can install this battery, and then we'll be able to slide this battery around wherever we need it. We're gonna secure these 2x4s right down to the base, and we'll have a nice flush surface for this battery to mount on, and then we'll use the existing mounting holes on the battery to secure it onto the platform. Nice even platform. Okay, we've exceeded the 100 amp hour capacity. Remember, we're gonna run this down to 42 volts. We're still at 46 volts. We're gonna let this run just a little bit longer. Yeah, you can see here, we're at 100 amp hours, almost 101 amp hours. We're still running the test. If we look here at the battery monitor, you can see it's telling us it's time to recharge the battery. Right, always follow the instructions on this. That way you don't push it past that BMS shutdown. battery monitor is working, and all the numbers are matching up, right? Our current draw is the same. The voltage is about 0.2 volts off, but that's just voltage drop from the wires. Here our voltage is really starting to drop off now pretty quick. It's not gonna be long at all. We're gonna be down to 42 volts. Yeah, we don't need to push this any deeper. We have reached the 100 amp hour capacity. We're at 101.4 right now. Still a little bit left. We'll probably get up to 102 or 103 amp hours easy. Let's go ahead and disconnect this test. All right, the tests are done. Let's go ahead and put this thing in place. If you got two people, it's gonna be a lot easier, right? We've got the covers on our terminals here just to prevent any shorts in it. Say it is a heavy battery. It's not as heavy as all four of those other batteries, but you can see here, I can easily put this in. All right, now we're gonna slide this around. We're gonna adjust it, figure out exactly where we need this, and we can go ahead and secure this down. This thing isn't gonna go anywhere now. All right, we're gonna repeat this on the other side. Right, that battery isn't going anywhere. We're gonna go ahead and wire it up. What's great about this battery is it has this power switch here, right? So we can disconnect these terminals with this power switch just for safety purposes. If you kept track of all the cables the way they disconnected from the other batteries, right, with a picture or some sort of a diagram, it's really easy to hook this up. It's just kind of plug and play. Okay, we got everything hooked up, ready to go. We got the charger on. We got to charge this battery completely. Okay. One thing to remember when we're hooking the new battery up, you have your old charger connection, right? You're gonna have 3 wires coming out of that. You're gonna have a positive, a negative, and then you're gonna have a ground on that. Don't worry about the ground, right? But you wanna make sure that you disconnect the positive and negative from your old charger. You have to use the new charger. We have the new charger plugged in right here. We can actually mount this. We can drill a hole, mount this through hole, and use it in that configuration, or you can just have it loose. We're gonna clean up these wires, all right, tighten everything up, let this thing charge up, and we're gonna take this golf cart for a test ride. All right, we're all charged up. Hey, battery charger says we're charged. Of course, this battery monitor says we're charged. We can go through the settings on that. All right, basic settings here. All right, let's look at our battery individual cell voltage on everything. Right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and take this thing for a test ride. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do a little range test on this thing. We're all set up. We got our speedometer here. We're gonna floor this thing, max speed. Then we're gonna look down here at our gauge. So we're doing about 18 miles an hour, right? And if you look down here, we have 2 hours and 9 minutes, right? About an hour and 14 minutes. Let's say an hour. Let's do an hour and 15 minutes on that at 17 miles an hour. We'll do the math here real quick and figure out what the range at full throttle on this thing would be. We've got our app set up right now, right? And we can see that everything kind of reads real time with the app. So at this speed here, we're just kind of cruising along. I'm gonna put this in the top right-hand corner of the screen. That way you can see how we monitor the app. I can shift through kind of the information on the app, and you'll see that in the top screen there. All the info we have, right? No warnings on that. Right, that's the Bluetooth. Click back into that. Connected, 98% power. One thing on these batteries and these golf carts is you're not going to get much increased speed with the lithium battery, because the speed is controlled by the controller in the golf cart. It's kind of governed down, so that's what controls the top speed. But you can get a little bit of pep out of that lithium battery. It's a little punchier than your lead acid batteries, and that power range kind of stays through the whole the whole discharge of the battery, unlike a lead acid battery. A lead acid battery, the voltage starts dropping off immediately and you have less power as it drops off. But yeah, this DC house, lithium iron phosphate battery, made especially for the golf carts. You can use it for a lot of other things. We're happy with it. Super simple conversion on this older golf cart. So from Stonebrook Adventure, until next time, bloop.